Hey folks, Todd Martin here, your local Louisville real estate broker with Realty. And we are continuing our talks with Todd at 12 on Facebook Live. I want to first apologize for last week. It was a little bit of a hairy situation. We've got some video that we're working on that should be posted soon with a little bit of some contingency plans and what it's like to move a house. Not move from one house to another, but move a house. So if you're interested, check back soon, hopefully by the end of the week, and we'll put a notification out there for everybody to kind of see what we're doing. But with that being said, of course, Gabby is assisting me again today, and Gabby's got some questions for us to get the ball rolling. So Gabby, what do you got for me?
Yeah, so my questions today are going to be regarding, how to prepare my home for a spring sale. So my first question is, what can I do to make the house look brighter?
Oh, well, the first thing, did you see that? It just brightened up behind me. That's kind of funny. Well, the first thing you need to do is get out of bed. I'm just kidding. Once you open your curtains and you let the natural light in, brighten it up a little bit. If you've got some balances that are blocking light, you might want to take those down. Look at ways at which to maybe upgrade your light bulbs a little bit too. Some of the natural light bulbs, I know you pay a little bit more for them, but basically they'll bring a lot of light into the house. And one of the things that's going to definitely help you sell the house is the light factor. Even at night, if people feel that it's bright and inviting and warm, it will definitely help you out. So when you have your house on the market and you're ready to sell it, make sure that when you leave every morning that your blinds are open, all your light bulbs work, and that it's ready for showing. So that's probably the first and the easiest thing to do in order to get some light in there to brighten it up, so you've got a good potential when a showing comes through.
Awesome. So what do you recommend that I do renovations on? And should I plan to do, big projects, or should I work with smaller renovations?
Well, when you're selling your house, you want to gut the kitchen, you want to gut the bathrooms. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. You've got to be a realist, because you never want to put good money after bad. What I mean by that is you're not going to get your return on investment out if you're just finishing up your entire honey-do list right before you put the house on the market. So on the renovations, I know that some of us are living in bathrooms that haven't been renovated since the 70s or 80s, and that's okay. If you take the renovations to the max, you could be pricing yourself out of the market. In other words, trying to get your money back that you put into it right now. I didn't have an opportunity to depreciate. It just depreciated immediately. It's like driving that new car off the lot. But really what you want to do is you want to be a realist about it. When you go in and you're looking for a house, what are you looking at? Are you looking at brass fixtures? Are you looking at polished nickel? Are you looking at bronze? What is the trend today when you are going to sell? You can do little renovations, like changing out faucets and fixtures. In some cases, in small areas, there's flooring or carpet. But I wouldn't say, don't spend your time and money chasing a huge renovation, because if you've lived in the house and you're just fixing it up to sell, you're not a flipper, and you're not going to get the returns, and you're going to end up spending more time and energy. And in the case that, we're looking to get ready for a spring sale, your house might not be ready. You may run into something unexpected if you're doing a huge renovation. So be careful with that. Talk to somebody who knows about the renovations and projects and what one thing could lead to another. So keep it small and simple and concise. And always, if you want somebody to talk to you a little bit more specifically in detail, I'm always happy to come out and just kind of, take a look at some things and say, hey, realistically, this is what you should do. But again, you want to be very specific in your repairs or / upgrades.
So in terms of touching up paint, or if I'm wanting to repaint an area, what are some of the colors that you recommend that I use for that?
Well, Gabby, paint is a very hard thing because when you paint and you put a color in there that you like, that may not bring any value to the new buyer. Okay, the new buyer might see it in a completely different color. So, as a matter of fact, I just showed a house with a lime green bedroom the other day, which was fine for the people that live there. They liked the lime green, but my buyers didn't necessarily like that. But we talk about neutral colors, we talk about earth tones. If it's something that you must paint, just something easy, or even an off-white like an eggshell, because probably the buyer that's going to come in is probably going to put new paint on it anyway. If you can touch it up and you still have the original paint because you've removed some pictures and you need a little bit, I would say do that before you go and paint a whole room. Because again, painting the whole room, it's not advantageous to you, and it could turn into a bigger project than what you expect. Or if you try to do it yourself and you're not a painter, you're putting time, money, and energy and effort into it, hoping that you'll get a big return out of it. And that's not always the case, because again, your paint color may not add value to the new buyer coming in. So think about that, and just, small repairs over a period of time.
So my next question is, what items around the house do you think should be fixed if necessary?
Well, we've got a couple of schools of thought on that. When you're getting ready to sell a house, some people think that you should have a home inspection done prior to listing the property. I am on the belief that home inspections in some cases can be subjective versus objective. And if one inspector finds one thing, another inspector is going to find something else. And most inspectors that come in, they are representing the buyer. Now, I know it's good to go through and look at every little nook and cranny and see, you've got a drippy faucet here, and, the doorknob is loose there. And you can do all those things, but walk through the house like your house, okay? If you have a leaky faucet, if you have a drain that's clogged, if you've got a doorknob or a door that's chipped or cracked, those are the things that you should be looking at doing. Don't get involved in crawling up on your roof and looking at the shingles and potentially wanting to clean out your gutters because you don't know what's up there. Again, you're going to want to be a realist on this and make sure that the things that are the repaired are the things that maybe you lived with for a long time, just because you own the house and you're okay with that little drip coming out of the kitchen faucet, but the buyer's probably not going to be. So think of those things, and think of terms of, like, again, if you're moving into a new house, how do you want that new house to be when you move in? You don't want as much stress going from one property to another, and you want to take care of the things that that need to be fixed, right? So again, small projects, concise, looking at over a period of time. If you've got a drip, if you've got a clog, if you've got a handle that sticks, or a lock that doesn't work, or a window that doesn't open, those are the things that you're going to want to look at repairing, not the major things. Let the home inspector go through and determine, if anything, what needs to be done, or suggestions on what should be done. So again, it's just small, concise things. And if you can kind of see the way that this works is that, we're looking at small, concise projects, so you don't get overwhelmed, and you can get your home up for the spring. So you're not stuck in the middle of a project when spring comes around, and spring is sprung.
All right. My last question is, what are some of the recommendations that you have to take care of odors, such as, those of pets?
Oh, I thought you said elders, like your parents. No, I'm kidding. So your odors, there'll be a link below with regards to a blog I did a few years ago on odors. But, one of the things that you want to do is, if you've got pets, or if you're a smoker, start smoking outside. Don't smoke in the house. Look at having your carpet shampooed, potentially even having your vents cleaned. But I know a lot of people like to use the Glade plugins. Just don't go crazy with them. Those odors can definitely be as overwhelming as pet odors or smoke odors to non-pet owners and to non-smokers. I know you may not smell it, but those are some things that you might want to ask the opinion of your realtor to say, hey, what do you smell? What do you think? What are your recommendations? Again, small projects, don't go into replacing carpet and repainting walls and all of that. Just go into the things that you know that you can do. And if that's, if you've got to confine your pets to a particular area of the house so you can clean the rest of it, that's also going to help as well. I know that's tough. Again, the toughest thing about selling a house is living in it while you're trying to sell it. So it's a difficult task. It's not easy to do. So again, just small little projects that can be done, and let the professionals carpet and steam and clean your vents for you. It's probably the easiest way to go.
Awesome.
Did we about cover that, Gabby? Did we get most of the questions answered?
Yeah, that was my last question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, everybody, hey, if I can be of a reference or a resource to you, feel free to give me a buzz. You can pick up the phone and give me a call at 502-220-4663, or think of it as 220-HOME, HOME. Give me a buzz. Again, I'm always happy to help. And please don't keep me a secret. If you happen to know somebody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I'm always here. And again, always happy to chat. So until next week, or if you have any questions, look forward to talking to you all. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.